Okay. I'm going to fill you in on. I called Kathy, and she said I didn't listen to your message, but I saw that you needed help with something. So what's up? So I told her. I said, do you think I'm disrespectful and all these things? And she said, no. You're just not gullible. You're just not gullible. He had an idea of how that weekend was going to go, and it didn't turn out that way. He had it all planned out in his head. That's not how it worked out. Because you're not gullible. His plan was to get me drunk, for him to get drunk, and I'm sure to get lucky. Why else would you take a female to a resort and insist on getting her drunk? I asked her if she could help me financially with my car situation. She said, I don't know if I'd be able to. So I just thought I'd ask. So you're really the only person I really have. I can't ask my dad for money. My mom, she may help me. I tried to get a hold of JC because JC's son was able to make him up a fake what you call it? License plate. Fake license plate. It's just like a piece of paper, like he just bought the truck. And fake insurance that looked legitimately real because he printed it out on my printer. It said Progressive and everything on it. So I called him, but he didn't answer. Of course he didn't. But I'm going to call him tomorrow. And the next day. And the next day until he answers. I haven't talked to him. I've never been really mean to him. And last time we talked, he said, because he finally responded, I had called him on a Sunday and he texted me back on a Thursday. And I said, well, it's good to know you're still talking to me. So when he brought that up when I was hanging out with him when we were going to go to the football game, he said, why'd you say that? I said, because you don't really talk to me anymore. He said, that don't really mean nothing. We'll be friends forever. So it can't be something because he said so, and we haven't been talking. So but I just said, hey, what's up? Hope you're doing okay. I just had a quick question for you. I didn't say what it pertained to, but he didn't call me back. Last time he claimed that he didn't see that I called. So maybe he didn't see that I called. I don't know. I talked to Jade a couple days ago. I just said, hey. It was on Friday night. I said, hey. Because I kind of wanted to see him this weekend. But he worked Saturday. He works Sunday through Tuesday. Works night shift. So get off till Wednesday morning. But every other weekend, he works Saturdays. So when Haley invited me to go to the resort, I knew that Jay couldn't come visit me anyway because it was Saturday. And he worked that night. So I said, fine. I really didn't want to go. I was reluctant. But I guess things happen for a reason. But he said that he would have came to see me if he hadn't just returned from the gym. I said, that's okay. So you haven't really been talking to me anyways. And that wasn't to be snotty or anything. It was just, it made sense that you went to the gym because you didn't plan on coming to see me because you haven't been talking to me. So why would you plan to come see me? I would go to the gym too. That's what I meant by it. But he said, fair enough. He said, my mind has been with you for a while since we last chatted. And I will make time to come see you. I said, aw, I didn't know that. That's good to know. Would be good to see you too. Left it at that. Last time we talked was February 15th. He hit me up, actually. And in the end, he said that he would make time to come see me. And I said, okay. And he never responded. And the only reason we talked on, I think it was February 27th is when I texted him, was a Friday. Because I texted him. He said that my mind has been with you ever since we chatted. For a while now, since we chatted. So that was 12 days. And I liked how he worded it, to be honest. Instead of, you've been on my mind, he said, my mind has been with you. Interesting. But I'm not chasing. I'm not putting forth effort. I'm putting forth just as much effort as you are. And I would love to go see him, just because I would love to do that drive. There's lots of curves and trees. It's my favorite road. So I would go see him just to drive the road. But I can't drive right now. I guess tomorrow I am going to finally call Xfinity, get the number that I need again to return that phone that I bought so they can repair it, because the camera is fucked up. You glow. Your eyes glow. Your mouth glows. Everything glows. That's how I bought it, too. And they tried to cut off my care plan, I guess, for the phone, because I was going to cut the number off. So then it wouldn't cover it anymore. And I said, fuck that shit. No. I said that this came like this. Otherwise, you replace the phone or give me my money back. So they were able to put it back on my bill. And that was like a month ago. So I've been paying for this other line because I just keep putting shit off. So I guess it was good. It's good that I have a little break so I can concentrate on getting that done. Lining up things that I need to return, because Tuesday is my follow-up appointment with my doctor. And Kathy's going to take me. And the UPS is just right there. So she'll be able to drop my stuff off. And I'll return those slippers that I was going to wear at the office, because they hurt your feet. Hurt my feet. They're really hard soles. I had put it off, and it was going to expire. The return date was about to expire. So I canceled the return, and then I established another return. So hopefully that one hasn't expired yet. I just get caught up in my work day, and then when I come home, I'm tired because we don't get home till like 7 p.m. And then when I went to my gyno a couple months ago, the lady, she sent me a whole bunch of links for assistance, food assistance, which I already have, food stamps now, rental assistance, all these networks that I can communicate with. But I haven't looked into it yet because I was getting income. But now that you're fucking with my money, it was probably a good thing, though, because if I don't ask for assistance now, they're probably going to be like, where have you been getting this assistance? This whole time. So, because I get paid under the table. Kathy said, you got to remember how much you get paid so you can calculate it up at the end of the year so you can pay taxes on it. Oh, I got to cover those taxes. I have to file my taxes even though I really didn't make any money, I think. But I had to file the work comp and the unemployment. I did make $1,000 something through that one job. But that was it. I don't count my pet boarding business. I get paid in cash. And I'm not going to count the business, the money I make from Haley. Even though Kathy said that way you can report it on your taxes. No. What you don't know won't hurt you. You got plenty of money. You spending it on shit. The government, the fucking president, Trump, is making war and stealing presidents or whatever from other countries. And no, I ain't helping you guys do shit. And then I can look into a therapist, because they also gave me information for that, so I can look up different things. And I need to start doing that too, so I can go to therapy for my brain, emotional therapy, not speech. not occupational, not physical, psychological therapy. Which I know I need, but I need somebody who is grounded in themselves and knows exactly what they're doing. Educated and is able to build a rapport and not all about themselves and is grounded in themselves. Because my speech therapist, so I explained to her, I watched this woman cry out of her own skin, tried to leave the room 3 times. She said, you have to establish a rapport first before you can do EMDR. I said, I know. I didn't know. I never knew what EMDR was, but I knew as a patient that this is not how it's supposed to go. Anyway, it'll give me time to do that. I've been trying to catch up on my Paul Champs app of recording their lessons. So I'll put them on YouTube. I buy shit and then I just don't acknowledge it. Even though I have a timer on my, or alarm on my phone that goes off that says to work on it. I think it expires tomorrow. So I didn't get everything. But I got a good portion of it. I can always renew it and get the rest of the information off of it. But I try to get my money's worth. And I don't get my money's worth because I don't do it. And I haven't really tried to study it. I just record it. I just have so much stuff in files. So I can go back and study it and memorize it later. But right now I'm in the accumulating information stage. Because I know my brain can't handle it all right now. I have too much other stuff I gotta deal with. But yeah, Kathy said that first you need to look into insurance. See how much insurance is. So I gotta do that tomorrow too. Because I have to get an SR22 because I have a DUI. Which means it's gonna be hella expensive. But I remember seeing a commercial, I think it was called Freeway, and talked about how even people with DUIs get a reasonable priced insurance claim. I don't know if it's a claim, but whatever. Because I think you have to prove that you have insurance in order to get your car re-registered. But also, I guess, Zach, he mentioned that I may be able to just say that this is the case. Yes, I'd have to get an SR22, all this stuff. But right now, I'm not driving it. I'm just want it because people have been hitting cars that are on the street. And I parked my car on the street. And I would like to have it covered. So maybe they'll give me a break. I don't know. I try it. I try to use every loop I can in every situation. Anyway, I just wanted to update you on the rest of it because I just listened to the last 2 ones that I did. And I'm going to put all of these on CapCut. And you can capture my whole day. Or a week. Yesterday and today. Weekend. I love how Kovu brings people joy. Every person he encountered. I didn't get to capture it all each time because my phone had died. But yeah. He is a highlight of everybody's day. This fool initially thought he was punishing me. And I really did at first. But then I thought about it. Because he's had to bring people from Jamaica over here to help him. Otherwise, he runs himself ragged. He works 7 days a week. He has to work on the weekends, doing inventory and all this stuff, and then sales, and go pick up the product. And right now, he has a pretty good stock. That doesn't mean it's going to last. I want you to realize that you need me. You need me. As much as you talk shit, you need me just as much as I need you. Well, probably more, to be honest. Because if I can get help with my rent, which I don't know if I'll be able to because I already got 6 months worth of help. That doesn't hurt to keep asking, I guess. Go through a different organization, maybe, I don't know. But if not, I will rely on his paycheck. My paycheck from him. And it's not a check, though. Cash. And he was talking about, people date and work together, and they make it work. Run a business and are married. I think he fails to realize that I have my own business. He's like, all of a sudden, I'm part of his business. No, I'm not. You're just helping me at a means to an end, to be honest with you. I wasn't continue to do this, no. I like it. I enjoy what I do. I ain't gonna deal with your shit. No. I got other things I want to do. I wanted to board animals on a routinely basis. I want to do content creation. And I want to do a Pilates instructor. Among dance. That's what I want to do. I don't want to do hemp. I don't want to exchange my time for money. I don't want my phone blowing up all the fucking time. I don't want you insisting we hang out all the fucking time. Go find somebody to hang out with then. Go find somebody who wants to drink. Because obviously you are very narrow-minded in the sense of you have nothing else that you can do as an activity with other people that doesn't involve drinking. Like, for instance, once I get driving, I'm going to go on hiking trails. Because I actually did good today. I did. And I didn't take my second muscle relaxer until like 7 p.m. And I usually take 3 a day. And I really don't feel bad. I haven't drenched myself. And I did put a little bit of that Polar cooling cream on that I have to knock it because it's almost out. And I try to just use it on my private area because that's the only stuff that doesn't burn. But yeah, I haven't really been needing to. It was a good walk. And every time I thanked him for inviting me, I thanked him twice. I thanked him before we left. I said, thank you for inviting me. I had fun. I appreciate it. And then when I got back, I said, thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it. And I really appreciate you letting Kovo come. And that's immediate when he was snapped off about, I'm not doing this no more. Kathy said it's because you are not gullible. I'm not. And he kept saying, why do you keep bringing up 19, 18-year-olds? Well, because you said you have to live. And that is why 19, 18-year-olds want to get drunk. It's because they haven't lived yet, which makes sense. I already did that. I'm 38. I've done gone to the clubs. I've done got drunk. I've done it. That's why I say 19, 18-year-olds. Which is who he chooses to fuck with anyway. But he vents that they always want to go out. They always want to party. They always want to drink. They always want to do this and that. which is the downfall. So when you tell me, come on, you only live once, that's why I say that. Anyway, it was a good walk. It was. I wish I knew how far I walked because my watch had died and I wasn't able to plug it in. I had brought my wall plug-in that I got brand new a couple days ago from Amazon. It had multiple plugs, but there was no place for me to actually plug it in at. The only place was across the room. So I couldn't put my phone on the charger because I needed healing frequencies while I have earplugs in. And I didn't have a space to plug in my watch because it took USB or just regular plug-in. There was no a special one. You have to have a little special plug-in for your Apple Watch plug-in cord thing, whatever. So it died. So I don't know how far I walked. But I did good. I did. I went through up some hills, steep. One of them was really steep. I told the people, there was 3 ladies walking down because I had stopped. Once I hit the top, I stopped. I went a little bit. But anyway, so it seemed like they were hesitant because I just stood in the middle. I didn't know exactly where they were going because the path went in multiple ways. So it wasn't like they were heading straight for me. But they walked by and I said, so that way's really steep. And they kind of chuckled because they could tell I was out of breath. And that's when one lady asked if she could pet Kovu. So yeah, of course. He loves people. And he gets all up in their face and licks their nose. He loves licking noses. I don't know what it is. Once he licks your nose, he seems like he's content. Until then, he be trying to get that nose. But they love him. Everybody. Anyway. I was frustrated earlier. A little concerned about how I'm supposed to make this work. But God's got me. God's got me this far. God's got me. I think in the end, he's going to end up, Haley is going to end up teaching himself a lesson. Kick your help to the curb. It's okay. But don't do it the same week you're going to get your wisdom teeth pulled. That wasn't very smart. But yeah, he had that weekend planned out to a T because on the way there, he talked about what alcohol he brought and that he was going to get so faded and that I was going to get faded too. And I just kept letting him talk. Just like I just let him pour the drink because he wasn't listening to me anyway. I didn't drink it. He just wasted it. He didn't ask me what I like to mix with it. He put cranberry juice in it. I hate cranberry juice. So you have Hennessy. I don't know if he put Jamaica rum in there anyway. He said Jamaican rum is actually, it's not something you take a shot of. It is way too potent. So I'm thinking, I don't drink. And you brought rum that's even too potent to take a shot of? But yeah, he filled that drink up. He poured probably this much alcohol in that red cup. And then the rest with cranberry juice. And I hate cranberry juice. I said, why not? You should have got pineapple juice or something. He said, pineapple juice doesn't go with Hennessy. Hell if I know. But yeah, he had the whole weekend planned out. I swear. He did. About what was going to happen. What was going to take place. That he was finally going to get that fat ass up in the air. Get some punani. That he's had a drought. Boy, please. I am one of these fast ass 19, 18-year-old girls that you can manipulate. Initially, he didn't like me because I was stubborn. And he says stubborn is a bad thing. No, it's not. That means you're not easily manipulated. You're not gullible. You're not naive. People can't pull a fast one over on you. Used to. But I ain't that girl no more. You have to go through some shit to learn that shit, but yeah. You find the lesson in every trial, in every failure, every tribulation, whatever. Find the lesson and it's worth it. Allow it to change you. If you don't find the lesson, then you'll just keep repeating it until you do find the lesson. Cove was the only one I can stand listening to snore. Listening to them snore. Just listening to Haley snore when I woke up at 6 a.m. to take Kovo out because Kovo woke up and I woke up. It's kind of weird. But he didn't wake me up. I don't know what it was. And it disgusted me. It did. It sounded like a fucking blowhorn. It was just the idea of being stuck with that for the rest of your life. Well, please. And the fact, what pissed me off, because they didn't have, whoa, you drive me crazy, babies. They didn't have earplugs. And he was like, well, I guess you're not going to be able to sleep. So just call up there. And then he acted like, you know, if you don't get them, then you're not going to be able to sleep. I said, you ain't going to be able to sleep either. He said, how you figure? I said, because if I can't sleep, I'm going to waken your ass up. He said, at your house, understandable. Here, no. He said, good luck waking me up. I said, so you don't care if I sleep or not. Interesting. Interesting. And that was before I said anything about we were not together. So he wasn't pissy yet. And there's no way you would get in these shorts anyways, like for real. Because I know what you're about. You're rough. You want me to be in certain positions that you want me to be in. You have an attitude and get easily turned off if I complain about don't move my leg here, don't move my leg there. You don't know how to eat pussy. I can tell you that. You don't know how to finger a girl. You don't know how to turn a girl on. You don't know how to make out with a girl without eating her face off. And you're very unhygienic. You're always talking about doing it in the ass. What's wrong with the pussy? Like, for real. And then when you stick your finger in the girl's ass, then you want to put your finger in her mouth. Boy, that's how you get sick. But he was open and pissing on a girl's face and all this stuff. He was open to that. But he's not open into dominatrix or whatever. He won't handcuff anybody type thing. Not that I want to do that, but I'm just saying, you won't handcuff somebody, but you'll piss in somebody's face and fuck them in the ass and stick it in their mouth and what the fuck? Like, boy, no. If you were good in bed, I may consider it. If you could eat some good pussy, I may have considered it. But I know what you can do, what you about. I ain't want nothing of that. I don't want none of that. Thank you very much. I'm good. And at the very beginning, when he was trying to talk to me before we ever worked together. We had met each other online, blah, blah, blah. And he would call me up, you know, and not really make conversation or nothing. He would just be like, hey, you want me to come fuck? No. If you try to sweet talk a lady, you don't know how to do it. Tell you that much. And he'd get offended. He would. He would get offended. I would say no. But he would say, yeah, you want me to come fuck? Because he said normally, when females live alone, they would be grateful to have some dick every now and then. So I guess I'm not some typical female. And as he's hung out with me, he's realized I'm not a typical female. I'm not a female that chases after a guy after another guy. Usually if a guy does you wrong, you end up chasing another guy or leaving this guy for this guy. No, I've never been that type. I don't have children. I don't really drink. I don't chase company. And I'm stubborn, which he sees as a bad thing. Lord Jesus, thank you for a good weekend and a sort. Sorry I missed you in church. I did watch this sermon on YouTube, though. They're going over the Book of Ruth. Book of Ruth. It's Lent season, I guess. All of this is new to me. I've never read the Bible before. So, yeah. Because I told him I would like to go to church. He said, God forgive. He said, just miss church for this 1 week. He said, God wants you to get out of the house anyways. So I took that as okay. Fine. And I knew there was nature. So I could make my own church by being one with nature. So I agreed to go. But yeah, no. He just kind of, you don't need to go to church this week. Why do you got to go every week? Like I said, you're not a spiritual person. You're not. And you can never get the spoon, Annie. I swear you can't. You can't do shit. You can't, you don't even know how to turn a girl on. You stick your fingers up her vagina out of nowhere. Go like this. That does not turn a girl on. I'm just telling you. It just doesn't. So I looked at you and said, will you get your hands out of my vagina, please? I told Nicole that story. And she said, it was through text. So she didn't laugh. She said, I shouldn't laugh. But it's just how you tell your stories. It's true. Like, you don't know what the fuck you doing? You went to boys' school from 12th grade, from 12 till graduating your senior year. You never really had a girlfriend, unless whoever you saw on the Friday that came to visit for a short period of time, and you'd have to go sneak off somewhere and do something. Never had a mother around. So you never got that intimate, nurturing side. And you don't know how to please a woman. You don't even know how to kiss a woman. That's the thing. How can you come at a woman like this? Every time his teeth would hit my lip. Every time. I'm thinking, how are these other girls you be saying they're freaks? All my girls that I've been with are freaks and all this stuff. How do you even get past anything? Like, how are these girls even turned on? You don't know how to eat pussy at all. You don't know how to turn a girl on. You don't know how to kiss a girl. You don't, like, you. And he says he purposely puts girls on top to see how long they can last. Because he feels like they act like he needs to last the long, do all the work, and they just lay there. So he said, no, I put them up top. See how long they last. They don't last that long because they say, oh, my legs are cramping. So later on, I said, when you mentioned that, I said, I never do that. I've never been on top. I can't say that. When I was younger, I liked reverse cowgirl. That was one of my favorites. But no, I don't get on top. Squat down, do all that stuff. No. I never will. I said, I do it from the bottom. He said, I've never had that done. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff you never had. You don't know how to be made love to or make love to somebody. You just... No. Anyways, it's almost 1 o'clock. I get a massage tomorrow. I I gotta call a lot of places. Figure some shit out. So, Lord, please help me with all my future endeavors that I need to do. And get a hold of Tony to finally fill out the paperwork for Eli's credit report fixing, which was like it's September, October, I don't know. But I paid for it. So if he's not going to honor my payment and actually do it, then I would like my payment back. Either way, I'm not just going to leave it like I've done with other things. Anyways. Good night, Lisa. Love you.